are in San Giovanni in Persiceto, not far from Bologna, north of Bologna, in Emilia, then in Emilia. And we are in a wonderful trattoria, Trattoria Marisole, which is considered one of the best trattoria in Italy. What means trattoria? Where did this come from? What does it mean exactly? Trattoria comes from the name Trattore, which is the manager of the farm in the history. Imagine the peasants, imagine the work on the fields, the ancient style of work in a farm. There was a boss, this boss was the Trattore. The Trattore was dealing with all the products and sometimes offering the products to some clients. So here and there in Italy started to open trattoria. That means, in other words, more simply, a good restaurant for family that follows the traditions and use the local products, the local ingredients, and strictly follow the season, only that's in season in your garden, in your courtyard. And try to combine all the products in terms of dairy products from the area, chicken from your courtyard, the meat you have in your cattle room, and all the herbs and all the vegetable garden you can find here. So this trattoria is, I must say, basically perfect because everything is like should be. Everything here is strictly from the area, in season, and they follow the tradition, and sometimes they have very particular ingredients. Trattoria Marisole is managed by a couple, Anna and Franco. Franco comes from a long experience being a chef, has been a chef in many important hotels here and there, particularly in Venice. Anna is the daughter and the last manager of the local cheese factory. They produce Parmigiano Reggiano, first of all. They have the cattle, they have a daily production of top quality milk. They do a lot of wonderful things. So this union between these two different personalities that made an interesting fusion in this territory that is so rich of culinary traditions. We ordered our appetizers, and before that they brought to us their production ricotta cheese from the cows that looks super fresh and super tasty. And being in Emilia, they also brought to us this beautiful little starter made with mortadella. Mortadella is a spicy pork, let's say cured meat. They do in Bologna, is one of the Bologna food highlights, and smells from here wonderful. But we had a very sophisticated idea, so we are going to start with a very particular appetizer, which are the snails. I know are not so common, but they have their own snail. They are out from their little box and looks fantastic. If you never tried snails, please come here and do it. It's worth absolutely. And more, the wine. We choose the local Emilia, which is Lambrusco. But we choose the special one, which is the Rosé Lambrusco from Sorbara. It's in the countryside between Modena and Mantova, full Pianura Padana, north of Modena, and it's rosé, and has an unbelievably fantastic aroma and is very delicate, but is frizzy. It's frizzy, and this meat fits so well with the Emilia traditional cuisine. And the color is spectacular, it's extremely warm and attractive. But let me say something more about the trattoria, which are so important in the Italian tradition. What is a good trattoria? Basically, it's the place that cooks the cucina del territorio, the territory cooking, because this is the point, the core, interesting asset of the Italian treasure, food treasure, that every area has different nature, different products, different ingredients, different cook traditions. A good trattoria has the capacity, the skill to keep the tradition alive and to combine in fantastic recipe the ingredients of the area, to make you taste what you tasted maybe to your grandmother big meal when you were a child, or you taste one day, or you found sometimes in your life as one of the most important taste you got ever. This is a good trattoria. And here seems everything working actually. The menu is a list of local, super local. Many of them are our own production. So this is a big guarantee that everything works perfect. The village where we are is famous in Italy, also for another reason, because in the 1500s was born here Giulio Cesare Croce, which was an author of satire, of comic literature. Was a stream in Europe, okay? François Rabelais and others, about how funny could be life and essential. Giulio Cesare Croce was a self-prepared. He didn't study in any university or whatever. He just studied by himself and became a writer. And he represented somehow himself, that he had humble origins, and he created this character called Bertoldo. And in his books he tells the adventures of these smart peasants, bad smelling, bad looking, badly dressed, but incredibly intelligent and awake on every situation to be smarter than all the others. So Bertoldo is the symbol of the peasant intelligence, the peasant skill, capacity to look after every kind of situation. So, but let's go back to the serious issues, which are our first tortellini, handmade of course, in this creamy sauce, which is not the cream you buy into the box, but it's just a particular cream because it comes in from the cattle roll, and this is the creams that comes and float on the surface after they milk the cows. So this is natural, and I can assure you the smell is amazing. Let's call it the perfume of this is amazing. Now is the time for a traditional first course, the tagliatelle, which is this kind of fresh pasta. Fresh means that someone got yolks from eggs, from the courtyard, from the chooks, and worked with wheat flour and make this wonderful fresh pasta, handmade. And the ragu, which is meat, This is a combination of different meats from the courtyard. Mostly are chicken and quail meats, and they are cooked with herbs, mostly onions, celery and carrots. They are cooked for hours, and I want to attract the attention on the fact that there is no tomato in this ragu, because ragu is another thing that belongs to the tradition, but every territory has a different one, and the local one is without any tomato. Anyway, this smells fantastic, and now we are going to enjoy. At the second course, I choose something really particular, which are the liver on the charcoal grill. Liver wrapped in the creature little fat. How to say? It's a network of fat moved around the liver with onions and laurum leaves, onions and laurum, and of course salt and pepper, and looks wonderful. And here we have, on the other hand, the little meatballs from the chicken of the courtyard, the local chicken of the courtyard, with peas, which is very traditional of this area. These meatballs, I think, will taste fantastic, because you can taste the difference between a chicken from the farm that is walking in its life from the chicken of the supermarket full of antibiotics and never walked in all his life. And the difference is the taste. The chicken from the supermarket is not bad, it's not poison, but the taste has no taste. This is incredibly aromatic. And here is what we call a side dish, which is chicoria, which is a wild herb. It's a green leaves, just steamed and then stir fried with a bit of garlic and chili. Here we go. Now, at the end, what is better than a good dessert? Once more based on the own products, which are dairy products, first of all. Here we have an apple pie with the local cream from the farm that looks, wow, really fantastic. On the other side we have the so-called creme brulee, burnt cream, once more from the products of the cattle road. Here we have two different dessert wine to have together. This is a Banal Porto. Banal is a wonderful enriched wine from Portugal, so it's stranger. But what is more important is the Albana Passito. Passito means dried, like an old grape that lost his water and became more sweet with this no water grape. Somewhere, many places in Italy, they do so-called passito, that literally means when the fruits lose the water. And this, I see the color because the passito is seasoned in wood for sometimes 5, sometimes 6, sometimes 7 years. And smell from the old grape wine as it was once, and smell of the wood that gave not only the color but lots of aroma. Anyway, we are very happy about this trattoria, and let me say, it's not only a great trattoria, but it's also a locanda, because after your dinner you can just climb upstairs, few steps, and you are in bed. So, like in the ancient style called locanda, which belongs to literature, lots of stories about the food downstairs and the locanda with the beds upstairs. I leave your fantasy to imagine what human beings are able to arrange on this scenario. Okay. Enjoy!
Comunque, sei ordinato.
Hello, good morning. Here we are in Mirasole, which is a locanda, and after a lovely night, here we are for brekkie. You have a bit of everything from the local products. Let's start from the fresh cream, the yogurt, the local eggs, and this is something special because it's the ham from a very nice famous farm called Spigaroli of Corte Pallavicino, which is not far from here on the river, on the Po River side, and it's really special. So we're going to enjoy this formula, but which is very ancient, of the trattoria downstairs and the beds upstairs. Here we are in the Piazza del Popolo, the People's Square, in the center of San Giovanni in Persiceto, with the typical Bologna area Sunday morning scenario. With the portici, you can walk under the arch, even if it's raining, it will be fine. And we are in front of the Municipio, the town hall, and the local bar, the news kiosk, and all the men gathering and talking about politics and talking bad about the government of the moment. And of course the big church. This area was once part of the church state, believe or not. Was the up north of the church state, and basically is a little village. Now is more than 20,000 people living here, rebuilt completely in 16 and 1700, okay, over a very ancient Roman and later medieval town. And everywhere, like often in Italy, you can meet also the rest of the fascist architecture. This was probably the Casa del Fascio, which was the fascist party general headquarters that after the war became, like often, became the police station, the local police station. Anyway, it's very pleasant. Oh, today we're lucky, it's a sunny day, so we don't know what will be our program today. Here we are in a street of San Giovanni in Persiceto, and this street is Via Betlemme. What is special here is that an artist, Giuseppe Rambaldi, in the 80s came here, was not from this village, but he was a painter and became famous because he was producing before the digital cinema production, he was inventing and producing huge puppet, big puppet to be used in the production movies. And he is the author of the big puppet of E.T., the extra Earth creature. And he was a good painter, and he decided to make these wall paintings all over this. It's a street but looks like a square. And definitely he used all his fantasy and all his creativity getting around every door, every window, transforming everything in a sort of fairy tale environment with lots of nature, lots of harmony between animals and natures, lots of harmony between the night and the day, the built and the destroyed, the timing signs over the walls, the dead nature coming down, the products of the man like the bricks everywhere, the shoes hanging up in the big pumpkins branches, and then completely fantasy creature with the horse with the wing and the unicorn downstairs trying to escape, or the big cabbage tree that evoked the fairy tale of Rapunzel. Every fantastic memory is here. So when people go back home, they enter in a pumpkin flower. And now, after the wonderful dinner, the wonderful staying, the super breakfast, here we are at the Spaccio, which is the store where the farm sell all the products, from the Parmigiano Reggiano to the meat and everything. Come with me and be ready. Here you can find everything to enjoy some of the most wonderful ingredients for your meals. Come with me, from wine to everything. Let's go to see the butcher area and all the prosciutto that follow the Parma style, which one of the two very important, okay? This is the brand Parma. And the temptation is to buy everything. On my right is the vinegar. Modena is very close to here, and this is the land of aceto balsamico, which has many versions, many aging, and lots of products that are similar to vinegar, more light. Okay? And you have all the products from the farm. In this farm they have cattle, porks, and every animal to produce a series of spectacular, remarkable products. Allora, ci dà una di queste, cagna.
Come preferisci?
Va bene, ci piace, va bene. Che è vitellone.
Sì, sì. Vitello adulto.
Okay. I'm buying an adult veal, okay? Almost at mature cow. Then we go to the cheese section. The cheese section has the king of the cheese, which is the Parmigiano Reggiano. We have different aging. Here we are in a tasting show, 24 months or 36 months. Let me taste the 36 months. I'm very aromatic. They have a lot of products from their farm, but not only. They have here everything you could desire to taste all the Italian flavors. And of course there is a section of pasta, biological, not biological, but from hard wheat, which is the special wheat, Italian wheat, where you can make an amount of different shape and variety of pasta that sometimes is full, like this. This is a very famous brand, Benedetto Cavalieri, or just white, like in this case, like the traditional white pasta with white flour. This is all the Parmesan cheese already prepared in pack. And to finish, you have this tigella. This is the name, where you have with a puree of pork meat, which is very good. That's it. The product from the beehive, everything.